Okay, welcome back. This is Andy here from bullwaves.org. Um, Checking out the weekly market action from an Elliott Wave perspective. And if you enjoy, excuse me, there goes my battery. There, okay. Um, if you like what I do, check out bullwaves.org, join the mailing list, or join the website and get nightly Elliott Wave updates. Okay, we are going to look at start of the dollar cross market, and we'll work from there. All right, here is Eurodollar. This is the 4-hour count in Eurodollar. You can see tracking a long, drawn-out ABC pattern up in wave B. The initial thought was that wave B was complete back in August. That'd be around the 20th, 23rd of August. We had an initial impulsive move lower, but that just turned out to be 3 waves down. And when that 3 waves down was complete, we were looking for a rally up in wave 5. We've got that rally so far, but we haven't got a new high yet. So I suppose looking at it brass tacks, you would expect the rally in wave 5 to probably tag that upper trend line there. So we'd be talking about 113.40, 113.50. Touch the upper trend line of the trend channel and then head lower again, turn lower into wave C down. How long has wave B taken now? It's taken a year. So we've gone sideways for a year, up in 3 waves. 6th of October was the low. It seems back there. So I would suggest once we tag that at the very upper end, we have 5 waves up, complete in wave C. You can see already like this rally in wave C has been, labored to say the least. But we have a general 5-wave pattern in place. Once we have wave 5 done, we have a 3-wave correction and a new push out of that into wave 5. So it looks like wave 5 is underway. Can't put a time on this really. Let's give this another week and see if wave 5 tops out, and then we'll look for a turn down into wave 1 of C. If you join the nightly updates, if you join the website, you'll get nightly updates on this. And wave C down should be a big one. It should be a major decline. Okay. Here is cable. This is the 4-hour count in cable. This is actually tracking now on a very similar pattern to Eurodollar. Previously, I was working on a different pattern, but we've pretty much moved in sync now, most especially since the 3-wave decline in a correction and then a rally out into a 5th wave. Now, this rally out into a 5th wave is quite interesting because I think there could be an ending diagonal here in the final move in wave 5. I want to keep the hourly charts for as much as possible for members of the website. So I'm going to go to this hourly chart. Just an example, but for the main, I would like to keep hourly charts for website members. But anyway, this could be a wedge to complete a 5th wave. I'm not there yet, but there is a possibility that we have a small wave 1, 2, 3, 4, and then a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Possible top. We have a new high in wave 5, so we're in the area where this pattern could top out. So let's see how that moves next week. Would look for a turn down to begin wave C, and just like in Eurodollar, this wave C down. This would be wave 1 up complete. Wave A, wave B, and wave C. Wave C down to complete wave 2 should be down around 115, 116 somewhere. So there's a long way down to go when this actually does pay a visit to us. Okay, let's move on. There's dollar yen. This is the 4-hour count in dollar yen. We're looking for a rally up into wave C, the opposite way. You can see that this dollar yen is actually moving against the trend. So we had 3 waves down in a possible B wave, and now we're looking for 5 waves up into wave C. And again, dollar yen should probably top out wave C of B somewhere up around 150. And again, that's another 600 pips, is it? In dollar yen, that would be a minimum target, to be quite honest. Okay, so the large B wave that I'm tracking here, we do have a solid 3-wave pattern lower, and we have a good rally out of that initial the wave B low. So if we got a 50% retracement in wave B, that would bring us up around 151, 152 maybe. That's if we stick to, a solid 50% retracement in wave B. We could go higher. We could go 62%. That'd be 154, 154.50, somewhere around there. The rally off the low here is interesting because it could be a leading wedge, just like in cable. It could be an ending diagonal, a wedge pattern. In dollar yen here, it could be a leading wedge pattern. So that's what I'm looking for next week. A bullish higher low, wave 1 and 2 complete, rally higher into wave 3 of C of B. So looking higher for the dollar in general over the coming month, let's say. Okay, let's move on. We'll go to the daily count in the Dow. Again, we have excuse me, I'll just move this along, a false turn down, which got retraced this week. So a possible 5-wave pattern is completing in another pattern in wave 5 of C. Why don't I have wave 5 in there? I should have. Let's get in there. Wave 5 of C of B. We have a solid 5-wave pattern run higher off this internal 4th wave low. There is a few different ways you can view this. You could call wave 4 back here, and you could track a again an ending diagonal pattern: 3 up in A, 3 down in B, 3 up in C, 3 up in 1, 3 down in 2, 3 up in 3, 3 down in 4, 3 up in 5. So again, no matter which way you slice this one, it is a market at the end of its potential here, I think. Each of those internal declines here did muster up the opportunity for an impulsive reversal, but that just did not happen. The amount of overlap that we've had since the high in April, so from April through to from now, so that's like 6 months, we've had overlap after overlap after overlap after overlap. So this market has kind of run out of its upside potential, I think. I still think this is a B wave top. I might be wrong as to the degree of B wave. This could be 1 degree higher in brackets here, and I'll put that in. Kind of 6 of one, half dozen of the other. Wave B in red or wave B in black. I'll show you on the weekly chart what I mean. I want to go back to the daily chart there. Go to the daily chart. This is the daily chart, forgive me. Weekly chart. You can see the decline in off the tops in 2022 can be viewed as wave A in red or 1 degree higher as wave A in black. Now, if it is wave A in black, then this is wave B. It's a false top in wave B, and it would explain why. I'm going to extend this chart a little bit. We'll go below at 30,000. Okay, let's get up here. Now, this is a wave B high. It does explain how bad the economy actually feels in reality, because this is a sugar high. This is a stimulus high. It's not reality, There is, I even read UPS's results yesterday. They've had 6% declines quarter on quarter in top line revenue. So that happens in a recession, you know. There's nothing, there's nothing else. The free money has gone away. The sugar high has been established, but it's a false top. Like it's a false new high. You could say that in general, fifth waves are false highs as well, but at least they're part of the organic structure of the pattern. But here we have a top in a B wave, no matter what degree you want to call it. The top in a B wave is even worse of a lie than a fifth wave, especially if people are investing into a B wave top. God help them. Anyway, we've got a closeout of trend channel in 3 waves. We've got an internal pattern here that's quite, I think, quite solid. And the question from here is wave B, this sugar high, this false top, in, is it running at 1 degree higher? Excuse me, I'm kind of tripping over my tongue this evening. Is it running at 1 degree higher in brackets? If it's running at 1 degree higher, then we are expecting a much larger decline in wave C to come. Initially, I was looking for maybe a decline back to COVID lows for wave A, but if this wave B is already in place, then we're heading lower in 5 waves, and it would be actually more like very akin actually to the run higher into the 2007 top. So we had the wave 3 top in 2000. We had a decline in wave A, a rally out to a new high in wave B into 2007. So that's 3 waves up in wave B, and then a 5-wave decline in wave C. And that's why from 08 to 09 the decline came so quickly, because it was 5 waves down in wave C. So we have an expanded flat correction wave 4, and if we transplant that expanded flat correction from top to bottom, 50% is the decline. But I think it's running at 1 degree higher, so it could be larger than 50%. It could be 60%, 70, 70. What's that? 78% fib retracement, 62 to 78% decline, and that would only bring us back to long-term norms in terms of stock market growth, 6% annually from there on. Okay, anyway, enough of the weekly chart. Let's go to the 4-hour count here again. You can see this is the 3-wave rally up in wave B in black. Oh, well, of course, I've been looking for this wave 1 down to happen for a while, for a long time, but it hasn't happened. So that could explain the overlap within the final run higher into wave 5, has created so many false starts. But we have bounded up against the upper trend channel line here, 1, 2, 3, 4, and now we've got a throw over in wave 5. So 5 times, the number of grace, as they say in scripture. So we've got grace for the last year. And grace is running out. Okay, wave 5. Let's see next week if we get another turn down to actually start looking lower again. Okay, let's move on. I'll go to the daily count in gold. This is the top of wave 3 in red here that I'm tracking right now, the new all-time highs. I'm looking for a decline in wave 4 red, probably back towards 2100 again. So a sizable decline. We should break below that previous left shoulder created early on in the year, there around the April and March, April. We should break below that level, or at least use that as an initial target. That gives us 2270 as an initial target for wave 4. But the lower, let's say, invalidation line for this pattern would lie at 2079, so 2080. When wave 4 falls, it should fall between 2270 and 2080. If 2080 breaks, then we are working on something completely different here. So wave 5 is what I've been tracking. Let's get into the 4-hour count and I'll show you what I'm tracking, the pattern I'm using for or to explain the action here. You can see we've got wave 4 low, we've got a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We've got a general kind of wedge narrowing of the range as the pattern runs higher. We've got an overlap between a wave 1 and a wave 4. I'm looking at an ending diagonal. We've got a throw over at the top in wave 5. So we'll see whether that, earlier on in the week, there was an initial correction lower that didn't materialize. The pattern was looking for another pop up in a 5th wave. So that could be wave 5 of C of 5. I'll give you a little hint of the hourly chart. There you go. So an ABC up in wave 5, and this could be wave 5 of C of wave 5. We're having a little bit of a rejection here at the top. So let's see how the trade goes today. The US market is open. So is that a top of wave 5? We'll see. We'll see next week. Again, possibility for a turn lower into begin a 4th wave correction. And this should be a long, drawn out 4th wave. Probably, bring us well into 2025 before this one is done. Okay, let's get to the S&P. Again, the 4-hour count in the S&P. A 5th wave. The pattern was calling for a top, another run into wave 5 of C of B. Again, that's the B wave top. Actually, I'm running kind of 50-50 on this. This is an alternate count for wave 5. No, actually, I switched that. Forgive me. Wave 1, we have wave 5 in green and split out into a wave 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. The wave 4 low, which I thought was the initial turn down, it wasn't. Off the wave 4 low, we have 5 waves up into wave 5. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Again, we still have this, the pattern has become drawn out and drawn out and drawn out and drawn out and drawn out, but it does hit, at a point, it will hit an end. Once we've come to the end of the extensions and the end of the splits and the end of the extensions, then we do turn lower in a big way. And I've stuck with the wave B at in red here in round brackets. So I'm not working on the alternate count here, but the alternate count would suggest that we're working at 1 degree higher as well, just like the Dow. So wave B in black. Again, either way, wave C down should be pretty brutal once it does actually kick off. Okay, here is the count in silver. Now, something I've been drawing attention to this week, I'm going to show you right now, is this. I may not even have to say anything to anybody. Do I even have to comment on this? You just tell me. Does that look like 3 waves up to you? And that would explain the alternate count here. Sorry, the alternate count on the hourly count. I'm going to go to the hourly chart here for the alternate count. 3 waves up could also be a B wave top before turning down into wave C. If that's the case, then we're targeting a low below $26 again, with a 5 wave decline. So let's go to the 4-hour count. The main pattern here is tracking a rally higher in wave 3, and that would be wave 3 of 3. Excuse me. Wave 3 of 3. So far, so good. It's still an impulsive looking rally. So I have gone with a 1, expecting a second wave higher low. So a 1-2 rally to begin wave 3 in blue. If that's the case, you'll get something along the lines of a drop into about 28.50, somewhere there, and then a run higher in wave 3 of 3. That'd be, if this pattern is correct, then we have a rally higher in wave 3 of 3 of 3 coming our way. And I think that's worth tracking, especially if we form a corrective higher low here. Somewhere above 27.6 70, call it. If we, let's say if we form a corrective higher low around, $29, between 28.50 and $29, then I think that's a real solid indicator that a possible 1-2 pattern again is building. That would be 3 in a row: 1-2 in green, 1-2 in blue, and then 1-2 at 1 degree lower in pink. If that's the case, then you could be off to the races again in silver. But I'm just tracking that possible alternate here as one to keep an eye on. Okay. I'm going to move on. I'm going to show the NASDAQ. If we get to the NASDAQ there, there's a 4-hour count in the NASDAQ. Still a very impulsive decline and still building a lower high. So do we run higher? Is this a 1-2 scenario? Very possible. If that's the case, it would actually run in line with the chart that's visible on the Magnificent Seven. There's a few places that do aggregate that chart. If you see that, the top 7 stocks, tech stocks, and they're running at a lower high right now, so they do have an impulsive decline, and 3 waves up to a lower high. So, are we seeing an initial cracking of that technology boom? You can see on the hourly chart. No, I'll stick with the 4-hour chart. The larger, last night we had a break of the previous high, so I was looking at a 1-2 possibility below the August highs. But right now, I think the best way to view this is as 3 waves up to a lower high with a possible 1-2 scenario working here. So I would keep that in mind, especially as we come into next week. A typical end of September, early October kind of, let's call it a witching time for stocks. We will see. It'll be very interesting for sure, no doubt about that. Okay, here we go. We move on to the closing statements. You get the stock market, the economy, the FX market, and everything else in between. But I always end with the good news. No matter how much bad news I have in the economy and the markets, I usually like to end with the good news of Messiah. And the good news of Messiah is what we like to call, or you might have heard of, as the gospel. Gospel is basically just Greek for good news. Well, it's euangelion is a Greek, but the gospel means good news. Good news is that, well, in order to present the good news, first you have to present the bad news. The bad news is that we are all sinners. We have all fallen short of the glory of God. We have all, everything we suggest or put forward as our righteousness or our good standing, our good deeds, it's all filthy rags, as what Isaiah says. All our righteousness is filthy rags. But if you read Isaiah 53 or Psalm 22, you will know that God had a way to deal with our filth, our sin, a way to heal the separation between humanity and its creator. And God is your creator, whether you want to believe it or not. You just look into, from the amazing creation that's around you to the unbounding wealth of knowledge in the scriptures to, the intricacy of your DNA. Everything points to a creator. It's not happenstance. You didn't just end up here as some freak of reality. We're created for a purpose. The purpose is to be in communion with our Creator, that is, our God. We broke that covenant initially. sin entered the world. We have all fallen short of the glory of God. But there has to be a price to be paid for sin, and death is the price to be paid for sin. That'll show you how serious God is about sin. It's because we die. Now, because we die, that is the payment for our sin in God's eyes. And it's eternal separation from God. But for Messiah, but for the good news, and here is the good news. Someone came to pay the price of our sin, and that is Mashiach ben David, the Messiah, son of David, son of Joseph. The Messiah that came, bore our sins on the cross, and paid for it. And when he died, before his last breath, he said, "It is finished. Into your hands I commend my spirit." So he dismissed his spirit. And in dying on that cross, he paid for the sin of the world, potentially. So it was a potential substitution of death sentence, let's say. So he took our death sentence, potentially. And in order for it to be actual, you have to accept it, because it's a free gift. It's given to you as a gift. That means, why do people on motorcycles always have to accelerate madly, wildly? Anyway, because it's a potential, it means you have to accept it. Because it's a gift. You can't just, someone doesn't shove a gift on you. You have to, it's offered and you accept it or you reject it. If you reject it, then no one has paid for your sins and you go into eternity without anyone having paid for your sins. If you accept it, then someone has paid for your sins. And all you have to do is speak to your Creator, because that's the only prayer He really wants to hear. Before you have communion with Him, the only thing that He's looking for is for you to accept what He did in Messiah. You just accept His sacrifice for you. So, Father in heaven, thank you. I accept the sacrifice of the Messiah as payment for my sins. He died. He was born. He lived a perfect life. He died. Jesus, he died for my sins. And he rose again, proving that he left my sins in the grave. And dying, he destroyed our death. And rising, he restored our life. Until he comes in glory. And that is that. He is coming back. And that will be the proof to you. That is correct. All right. Until that time, or else next week, have a great weekend. God bless. Get over to boaz.org. Check out the membership area and join the mailing list. It's free. And I'll send you out weekly updates. Okay. Until we talk to you again, God bless. Shalom.